Hey, Malcolm, you know that Audible's got a lot more than audiobooks?
Of course, podcasts,
Originals,
bestsellers,
future bestsellers,
sleep stories.
sleep story. What are you talking about, sleep story? Malcolm. Oh, wow. Malcolm. Malcolm. Hey, no, Roxy. Hey, Roxy, get out of Malcolm's house.
The most inspiring minds, the most compelling stories, all in one place. Audible.
Welcome all. We are absolutely delighted you're joining us for this second virtual Festival of Books kickoff program leading into our week-long celebration of books and the written word. And here's some more numbers for you. This marks the 11th year of our partnership with our wonderful hosts at the University of Southern California, and it's our 26th year of the public celebration of books. It's the LA Times gift to the community, to the people of Los Angeles. 26 years, a whole generation of book lovers. The people who came to our first festivals as children are now bringing their own kids to this fabulous event. Our virtual festival this year is where it belongs in its rightful month of April, and it's even bigger and better, of course. We're featuring, now here comes some more big numbers, more than 150 authors in 36 events, 2 virtual reading stages for children's books and poetry, all of it over the course of 7 exceptional days. And while we'll miss seeing everyone in person on the lovely campus of USC, and I know what an important part of the event it's been for all of us, strolling around and seeing so many book lovers and readers and writers, we're making the very best of the virtual setting once again and bringing this to you to where you are, in your homes, indoors or outdoors, wherever you are in the country. Now, one of the things that gathering virtually like this lets us all do is to visit our favorite writers in their homes to meet them in their unique environments. And that could be their backyards with their pets and their favorite objects. So you, as reader and viewer, get a peek inside their worlds, and maybe you can appreciate them and their work even more when you see how they live. Maybe that's not too different from you. Today, we're taking you to see your favorite LA Times writers, in addition to me, of course. You read them in the paper, you see their images drawn on the pages, and now you can see them at home in their natural habitat. And what better way of finding out more about them as we head into this week-long festival of books and reading than to find out, what are their reading habits? Are they different from yours or pretty much the same? What are they reading right now? Are they a one book at a time reader or a juggler? Let's find out what they have to say.
I'm a juggler.
I see people with 3 or 4 books, on their table or something, and I don't know how they do it.
When it comes to my books, I just want to stick to one.
So I'm usually reading about 2 books at once.
I don't. Is it my fault or is it the writer's fault?
I'm kind of like Steve, like it was a bad book or it just wasn't interesting. I mean, you didn't keep my attention.
I will read books no matter how bad they are. I will watch movies no matter how god awful they are. Like, I feel like there's a part of me that has to finish it.
Even if something is not my favorite to read, I feel compelled to read it till the last page.
The only book I can remember putting down out of disgust in the last few years was 50 Shades of Grey. I was like, this book is giving me nothing. And everybody was talking about it. Everybody was going crazy about it. SNL was doing skits about it. And it was like, this is a piece of crap. I'm not going to waste my time on this. I would say both.
No, printed books, 1,000,000%.
I prefer to read on paper.
I really love my Kindle.
I need to be able to dog ear the thing. You can't dog ear a Kindle. No, I absolutely not.
It doesn't weigh more to have the collected works of Charles Dickens on a Kindle than it does to have, one short story from Arthur Conan Doyle.
I remember reading Toni Morrison's Jazz. The writing is so unbelievable that I threw the book. I just tossed it across the room because you have to ask yourself, why even bother writing? If somebody is doing this with words, why even bother? And if it were a Kindle, the Kindle would break.
One of them is The Great Gatsby.
The Alchemist.
War and Peace.
The Kill a Mockingbird.
The Grapes of Wrath.
Season on the Brink by John Feinstein.
Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude.
I worship at the altar of Joan Didion, as so many California journalists do.
I would definitely have MFK Fisher.
Mark Twain.
Maya Angelou.
Shakespeare.
Elmore Leonard.
Valeria Luiselli.
John Steinbeck, Carrie McWilliams, and Nora Ephron.
If I let people know that I'd be cooking, I wouldn't get anybody to come over.
I probably would just order in.
I'm not going to cook anything. I'm going to order Panda Inn.
Oh, come on, Bill. Like, get some chin chin at least.
Oh, that's interesting.
Shawshank Redemption, better movie than the short story that Stephen King wrote.
The movie is never going to be the book.
The Godfather, which is sort of, the book is a pastiche of yarns, of yarns about the mafia. The movie is something much greater than that.
Homeland Elegies.
Believers, it's part of my book club with my kids.
So I'm reading Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. I mean, I think that's, the book of, well, I would say 2020, 2021 with all the racial reckonings.
I am reading my friend David Zucchino's book, Wilmington's Lie, along with having Eric Larson's Winston Churchill book at my bedside, along with writing a book. So I'm getting nothing done. It's what I'm trying to tell you.
As for me, I tend to be a juggler. I have books in progress all over the house, next to the bed, the breakfast table, and the bathtub, along with a pair of reading glasses for each book and a pen to scribble my thoughts and reactions in the margins, but not for library books, no. And I'll often reread favorite books. Maybe you do that too, and you find something new in them, like Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville, and Bill Bryson's great romp through science called A Short History of Nearly Everything, and True Confessions. Some books I loved as a kid, like Charlotte's Web. And now I'd like to introduce our featured guest, Dr. Carol L. Folt. She is the 12th, and out of that dozen, the first female elected president of the University of Southern California. She's also an internationally recognized life scientist and an award-winning teacher. Before she joined USC in 2019, she led the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Welcome to you, Dr. Folt.
Thank you, Pat. It is terrific to join you again and help kick off this year's Festival of Books. Next year, I think we'll be in person, but it's fabulous that we're doing it right now. This is the 11th edition at USC, and it's my second one as president. And I just think it's wonderful that we're keeping this partnership with the LA Times alive, even during this pandemic. And I would say, if I'm like everyone else in the world, books have been my salvation. I can't wait to experience the festival in person next year. The last time we actually came together in person, we had over 160,000 visitors to our campus. And with this virtual edition, we're able to bring this festival to everyone, everywhere. And that is a very positive aspect of this. Now, I know everyone has been asked to answer the question, what are you reading right now? One of the joys for me in being at a university like USC is that I am surrounded by incredible writers, and the books they write, the people they bring to campus, they're always giving me great ideas and inspiring me to read things. And these are our faculty, our staff, our students, our alumni are all deeply involved in creating and writing books. So for me, the book that I want to read becomes very long. So in my Kindle, because that's where I read most of my books, there is a very long list of books that are open, downloaded, and ready for me, and I tend to dabble amongst a lot of them. I also keep something by my side of my bed because I read there, and the book that I have right there is a wonderful book. It's an anthology of poetry. It's called African American Poetry, 250 Years of Struggle and Song by Kevin Young. And he is a fantastic writer, a poet. He was visiting USC in an event event that we co-hosted, and I interviewed him together with our very own Robin Cost Lewis and talked about poetry. Kevin Young also directs the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, and this anthology is just a treasure. So you can pick it up anytime and read some of the most wonderful poetry ever written. I just finished reading The Splendid and the Vile, and I loved it. It's a saga of Churchill, family, and defiance during the Blitz, and I felt like it had a lot of lessons for even today, but it was really great, written by Eric Larson. And I have just started book 1 of the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I like to read fantasy and science fiction, and she has been recommended to me many times, and I'm really enjoying, I'm one chapter in and really enjoying it so far. The other thing they asked me to talk about is what is everyone at USC looking forward to most in the festival? And this too could be a very large list because people are really excited about it. When I talk to colleagues or students, everyone has a certain panel that they're really looking forward to seeing. And the USC panels, of course, are on top of many of our minds. So I'm just going to mention 2 that I've been hearing a lot about and I'm looking to seeing. One is called Making History, Media Stories, History and Memory. And it features Viet Thanh Nguyen from Dornsife, Bill Deverell from the Dornsife School, and Howard Rodman from Cinematic Arts. They're going to talk about their work and about the connections between stories, media, history, and memory. They're all very different thinkers, and it will be a fascinating conversation to see how they each answer questions from their own vantage point. And that's going to be moderated by Priya Jakumar, a professor in our School of Cinematic Arts. The other one is called Selfies for Social Change. Now, I have been watching Alyssa Richardson from Annenberg since I arrived. She's amazing, and she's doing this with Jackson Bird and Akila Hughes, and it's a discussion that's going to be led by Colin McClay at Annenberg. And they're going to bring together creators and influencers who are using digital outlets in completely new ways, all to do good in the world. Dr. Richardson is really on the cutting edge here, and her work in particular shows how African Americans have been using smartphones and social media as journalism tools, and I think we all know how important that work has been. So I just hope everyone enjoys the festival. We all need a break from our kitchens and our sofas and a chance to connect with other thoughtful, curious people, to take time for fresh ideas and new perspectives and books.
Thank you, Dr. Carol Folt. Good to see you again virtually and look forward to it in reality. And now, in the grand USC and Festival of Books tradition, I am pleased to achieve my secret ambition and welcome the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band. Now, who hid my drum major baton and my whistle? Thank you, Spirit of Troy. I remember them, and I'm dating myself, from when they accompanied Fleetwood Mac on Tusk, and one of my friends was playing in the band. She was in the Trojan Band, not the Fleetwood Mac one. So thanks again to Dr. Carol Folt and to all my fellow LA Times columnists for letting us peek inside their homes and for the provocative insights into their reading habits and inspirations. And mostly, thank you, each one of you in this remarkable Festival of Books community for joining us this morning for the kickoff program for our 26th year of the wonders and pleasures of a good read. I hope you're going to tune into the rest of our events this week because we have a packed schedule over the next 7 days, starting right now at 10:30 with Guy Raz, Mindy Thomas, and special guest Zoe Deschanel. We continue through the weekend and all the rest of the week. Back to those numbers again. More than 36 events, 2 virtual stages for your favorite poets and children's authors. You'll get the opportunity to meet virtually CNN's Don Lemon, Modern Family's Jesse Tyler Ferguson, best-selling novelists Kristen Hanna and Walter Mosley, children's author Mina Harris, the Man Booker Prize winner Douglas Stewart, music legends Richard Thompson and Brandi Carlile, and so many more. Please visit our website at events.latimes.com/Festival of Books to RSVP and to find out more about upcoming events. And oh, read on, baby.